When I write this is Y and this is J, it is in same diagram, but actually this is same. You can see it.
Next is the
Y and this is
nomenclature of alkyl
same
halide.
diagram, but my actual this is in case of BXY, BY is negative.
Nomenclature of alkyl halide Rx. There are the two types of the name. One is the common name and other is the IUPAC name. So in common name, how we write the alkyl halide? We should know the name of R and we have to write the name halide. So it is your alkyl halide, right? Alkyl halide. So in this way we have to write the name of this compound. Example, R is a simple methyl CH3. This X maybe you can take chlorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Suppose if I take here Br, then methyl bromide. It is your methyl bromide, right? Then go on increasing the number of the carbon atom, CH3, then CH2, and suppose here Cl, then ethyl chloride, ethyl chloride. Number 3, if you go on increasing again one more carbon, then CH3, then CH2, CH2, and here is iodine. So N propyl iodide, N propyl, N propyl iodide, right? Now in the IPC nomenclature, in this way you can write the other name also. So one is the common name and other is the IPC name. IPC name. So in IPC name, what you do? We have to select the longest continuous chain containing carbon atom, and we have to see how many carbons are there, and then you have to write down corresponding name of alkane. That is the alkane, right? And depending upon the name of the halogen, you have to write haloalkane, haloalkane. So here there is a one carbon, so it is a methane, and there is a Br, so it is a bromomethane. So it is your bromomethane. In this way, you can write its name, bromomethane. Then chloroethane, chloroethane. Then in this case, you have to use the numbering. Here, you have to use the numbering in such a way that the side chain or the halogen should get the least number 1, 2, 3. At 1 there is the iodo, so it is called as a 1 iodopropane, right? 1 iodopropane. In this way, you have to write the IPC nomenclature. So in this way, how we can get the number of the examples and we can write the IPC name and the common name. Further, we have to see the physical property given by this alkyl halide. So if you see in the property, uh, we'll see that I will not take the more examples on the IPC nomenclature because it is not very simple. So next is the physical property of alkyl halide. Physical property. Physical properties. So if you see the lower members of alkyl halide, for example, methyl chloride, methyl bromide, methyl chloride, so they are found to be gaseous at ordinary temperature. Right? So number one is the state. So the lower members like methyl chloride, methyl bromide, or ethyl chloride, C2H5, Cl. So they are found to be gaseous in state. And if you see the remaining members, they are either solids or maybe at that is a gaseous in state or liquid or solid in state, solid in the state. So this is about the state of this alkyl halide. Then if you take the next property is the boiling point. You have learned in the low class that as the number of carbon increases, means as we move from methyl to ethyl to N propyl, then N butyl, like this one. Then as the number of carbon increases, then molecular formula get increased, then molecular weight also get increased, then surface area also get increased, then van der Waals force of attraction also get increased, then the boiling point also get increased, right? For example, suppose if you take the example like this one, uh, here is a CH3, CH2, CH2, and CH3. It is your N-butane. It is your N-butane, N-butane compound. If you see the experimentally, the boiling point is found to be, boiling point of this one is found to be 36 degree centigrade temperature, right? And that of corresponding uh, analog CS3, CS2, CS2, then CS2, and here is suppose if I take here Cl, N pentyl chloride, right? N pentyl chloride. So N pentyl chloride, N pentyl chloride. So the boiling point of this one is found to be 108, 108 degree. So if you compare these two compounds, you will see that when I replace one of the hydrogen by the Cl, then you will see that even though the number of carbons are same, but due to the chlorine, the molecular formula or molecular weight also get increased. The molecular weight also get increased. The surface area also get increased. The van der Waals force of attraction also get increased. That's why the boiling point of this compound also get increased. So if you compare with in general alkane and corresponding alkyl halide are having the higher boiling point as compared to corresponding analog, that is the alkane. So alkyl halides are having the higher molecular weight, and due to that one also it is having the higher surface area. That's why van der Waals force of attraction also it is a more. That's why the boiling point is also more. If you take the another example of this one, number 3, suppose you are having a CS3, then CH2, and here is the Cl, right? Then CS3, CS2, and here is the Br, and CS3, CS2, and here is the iodine. In all these three, the number of carbons they are same, but the halogen they are different. One is the chlorine, other is the bromine, and third is the iodine. So, experiment is found that the boiling point of this compound is found to be, right. The boiling point of this compound is found to be here 12.2 degree centigrade temperature, then 38.4 degree centigrade temperature, and 72.3 degree centigrade temperature. So you'll see that as we change the halogen, chlorine to bromine, bromine to iodine, so you'll see that its molecular weight of the halogen get increased. As the molecular weight increase, then also its surface area also get increased. That's why the boiling point also get increased. So you have to compare corresponding, that is the molecular weight. So more the molecular weight, more is the boiling point. More the molecular weight, more is the boiling point. So you have taken the third type of the example. Then we'll see the most next example. Suppose we are having a such type of example. We will have the same, that is the halogen. Here is the N-propyl chloride, then N-butyl chloride, CS3, CS2, CS2, and Cl. N-butyl chloride, then here is a CS3, 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and Cl, right? Number 1, number 2, and number 3, right? 3 carbon N propyl, 4 carbon N butyl, 5 N pentyl chloride, and the boiling point of this compound in degree centigrade temperature is found to be, for this one experimentally it is found to be 47, then 78.5, and then 108. So here as the number of carbon increases, and as the number of carbon increases, as the number of carbon increases, right, the molecular formula also get increased, molecular weight also get increased, so surface area also get increased, so van der Waals force of attraction also get increased, so the boiling point also get increased. So in this case, if you see, so this is the surface area of this compound, right? But if you see, when you increase carbon, then the surface area get increased, right? And again, in this one, the surface area also get increased, right? So surface area also get increased. So as the surface area get increased, then the van der Waals force of attraction also get increased. That's why the boiling point also get increased. So this is about the boiling point of this compound. Now next example, suppose we have such type of example. Here is a CS3, here is a CS2, CS2, then CS2 and a BR. N-butyl bromide. N-butyl bromide, the boiling point is found to be 102 degree centigrade temperature. And if you increase the branching of the methyl, here is the CS3, here is the H, here is the CH3, and here is the CS2 and BR. Both are having the same number of the carbon atom, same molecular formula, same molecular weight, but the boiling point of this compound is found to be 91 for the second one, right? Isobutyl bromide and N-butyl bromide 102. So what is the reason behind this one? The reason behind this one is that as the branching increases, right? As the branching increases, right? So as branching increases, molecule becomes spherical. Molecule becomes spherical. Then the surface area get decrease. Van der Waals force of attraction also get decrease. And the van der Waals force of attraction also get decrease. That's why the boiling point also get decrease. So in the branch compound, here there's a branching. So if you see that the molecule tends to become spherical, right? That's why the surface area as compared to the previous one, right? The surface area as compared to previous one get decreased. That's why the boiling point of this compound also get decreased. And now next property is about the
Hello, sir.
solubility. Next property is
Sir,
about the
student
solubility.
expression.
Sujal Jadhav. Sujal Jadhav. Okay. Right? Yes. May audible? मेरा आवाज आ रहा है ना? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So here, next property is about the solubility. You know, like dissolves like. Polar compound dissolve into polar solvent. Non-polar compound dissolve into non-polar solvent. So if you see alkyl halide, they are insoluble in water because of their, there is a here if you see Rx, and if you take the water, right, HOH, so they do not form hydrogen bonding, H bonding. They do not form a hydrogen bonding, so they are insoluble in water, right? They are insoluble in a polar solvent, that is the water. And why? Because they do not form the hydrogen bonding, so they are insoluble in water. But as they're having some polarity and they are soluble in as it is having low polarity, they are soluble in uh, non-polar solvent like ether, ROR, in general ROR. There is a chloroform CHCl3, or maybe benzene. It may also soluble in benzene. So just like your alkene also they have the same solubility. So like dissolves like polar compound dissolve into polar solvent, but as they don't form hydrogen bonding with that of your alkyl halide and water. That's why they are insoluble in water. So this is about the physical property of this alkyl halide. The next point is general methods of preparation. So preparation of the alkyl halide. Preparation of RX, preparation of alkyl halide. So next point is the preparation of alkyl halide, right? So here in this compound, we can prepare alkyl halide starting from number one, alcohol. ROH is called as alcohol. We have to replace OH by, that is a X. So alkyl halide in general, RX, when treated with HX hydrogen halide in the presence of anhydrous AlCl3, then what happens? This is your OH, not X. This is your OH. So this OH is replaced by X, and you are getting corresponding alkyl halide, right? So you are getting corresponding alkyl halide plus water, S2O. So alcohol, when treated with hydrogen halide, in the presence of anhydrous AlCl3, there is the formation of corresponding alkyl halide. Right. Example. You can take example when you change the R like this one, CS3OH. Here X, you can take HCl in the presence of anhydrous AlCl3, then there is a formation of CS3Cl plus water molecule. Similarly, you can change the R. Here is the ethyl OH. We can take also HI or HBr, HI. Again, reaction takes place in the presence of anhydrous AlCl3. You are getting CS3, CS2I, iodide. So in this way, we are getting first type of the compound, right? So just to change the R to get the number of example. Number two property. The alkyl halide also can be prepared starting from alcohol ROH by reaction with PCl3. Here there are three Cl, so you can use 3 molecules of alcohol, and you can write RCl. Right, RCl. You can get 3 molecules of RCl plus S3PO3. S3PO3. Similarly, you can also react this alcohol PCl5, and you can get here CH3, or you can write in general R. Then here is the Cl plus POCl3 and HCl, right? Again, this alcohol may be also react with SOCl2, thionyl chloride, and there is a formation of corresponding RCl, alkyl halide, plus, so you can get SO2, sulfur dioxide, and HCl, sulfur dioxide and HCl, right? So here you are getting a such type of the compound, alkyl halide, right? So starting from alcohol, by reaction with HX, by reaction with PCl3, PCl5 and SOCl2, we can prepare corresponding alkyl halide. This reaction ROH react SOCl2, it gives corresponding alkyl halide. It is very important. Why? Because here there is the formation of byproduct SO2 and HCl, and both are gas. Means there is no need for the separation. So this is your alcohol This is your alcohol. Alcohol will give corresponding alkyl halide, right? So similarly, instead of PCl3, can use PBr3 or PI3, and you can write the example. Example, just you change the R by methyl ethyl propyl, so we can get the number of examples. So I think there is no need to write the example. We have to write only the R. Then, starting from next preparation, uh, we can take third preparation. First, starting from alcohol. So here we can take number 2, starting from alkene. Starting from alkene compound, we can prepare also alkyl halide. So in general, RCH double bond CH2 alkene, when react with HX, right? When react with HX, there is a formation of corresponding alkyl halide. So what happen? Markovnik's addition rule. The negative part of the reagent. Here is the negative part. X is the negative and H is the positive. The negative part of the reagent will attack on that doubly bonded carbon atom, which has the lesser number of hydrogen atom. So X negative will attack on this carbon, and H positive will attack on this carbon of CH2. And you are getting here R, CH. Here is the CH2. So addition of X takes place on this carbon, and addition of H takes place, and you are getting corresponding alkyl halide, and you are getting corresponding alkyl halide, right? So this is your compound. This is your formation of alkyl halide, right? Uh, Example, just you take the one more example. When R is CH3, suppose R CH double bond CH2. If you treat with HBr, HBr, the negative part is the Br. Br will attack on the CH carbon, and hydrogen will add on the CH2 carbon, and you are getting the 2-bromo compound. So this is your that is the formation of alkyl halide starting from alkene. So example, just to change the H from the alkene, you can get the other example also. If you see the reactivity of halogen, here is seen that HI is more reactive than HBr, than HCl. Right? This is about the reactivity of hydrogen halide towards the alkene compound. If you see this reaction, you will see that actually the HBr can attack by 2 ways. The negative part will attack on the carbon having the lesser number of the hydrogen atom also, and more number of the hydrogen atom also. But the addition is governed by the Markovnik addition rule. The addition is governed by the Markovnik addition rule. MARKOVNIKOFS, Markovnik's rule. And what is the Markovnik's rule? The Markovnik addition rule tells us that when unsymmetrical alkene, and when unsymmetrical alkene. So here is your unsymmetrical alkene, and unsymmetrical alkene react with unsymmetrical reagent. Then the negative part of the reagent, X negative, will attack on that doubly bonded carbon atom, which has the lesser number of hydrogen atom. So CH have 1 hydrogen and CH2 have 2 hydrogen. So the negative part means X negative will attack on the CH carbon. So this part has a Markovnik addition rule, right? So if suppose if the same reaction if we carry out in the presence of peroxide, if the same reaction is carried out in the presence of peroxide, it is called as peroxide rule. It is called as peroxide rule. Peroxide rule. So the same alkene, we can take the same reaction. If alkene means R CH double bond CH2 react with HBr, in particular reaction takes place in the presence of peroxide, S2O2, hydrogen peroxide, then in that case the negative part of the reagent will attack on that doubly bonded carbon atom which has the more number of hydrogen atom. Right? It have the more number of hydrogen atoms. So Br will attack here and this H will attack here. So you are getting one bromoalkane as a major compound. So here is a major compound. It is called as a peroxide rule or anti-Markovitch addition rule. It is called as anti-Markovitch addition rule or peroxide rule also. Right. So these are the preparation of alkyl halide starting from corresponding alkene. So you have seen the preparation starting from alcohol and the preparation starting from alkene. Now next point is the chemical reaction given by this compound. So next point is the chemical reaction. Right. Next point is the chemical reactions given by alkyl halide. Right. Chemical reactions of RX, that is the alkyl halide. So when alkyl halide it react with or it undergo hydrolysis addition of water. So RX in general, alkyl halide when react with aqueous KOH, then this is the nucleophilic substitution reaction. The X is halogen. It is a more electronegative as compared to carbon. Sigma bond open on X, X negative and R positive. So the OH minus will attack on the R positive, and you are getting here ROH alcohol. You are getting alcohol starting from alkyl halide, right? And the byproducts are the KX and water, H2O, right? So you are getting the alcohol. Example, suppose if you take the example R maybe methyl, here the Br may be chlorine, react with aqueous KOH. So methyl chloride, react with aqueous KOH. So this sigma bond open on this Cl negative, C positive. So the negative part OH means nucleophile attack on the CS3 positive. So you are getting CS3 OH plus KCl, right? So this is the product, means methyl alcohol. Now next one is the hydrolysis reaction. Similarly, even though if you carry out reaction in the presence of CH2 and here is a Cl, Ag2O, silver oxide and water, H2O, then both will react and there is a formation of AgOH, right? And this Cl is replaced by OH and you are getting corresponding CS3, CS2, here is also CS2 and here is your OH, right? So reaction also takes place in the presence of AgOH. So this is the reaction. Then next is the reaction of alkyl nitrate and nitroalkane, right? Alkyl nitrate and number 3 reaction. Suppose if you treat with silver nitrite, AgNO2, alkyl halide react with AgNO2, then there is a formation of RNO2, nitroalkane and plus AgX. The structure of NO2 is like this one. Here is the Ag, here is the O, here is the N, double bond, and you are having one lone pair of the nitrogen. So this silver nitride, when treated with alkyl halide, then there is a formation of nitroalkane. Even though this alkyl halide, when treated with potassium nitrite, means K for potassium, and NO2 means O, here is the N double bond O, right? So potassium nitrite. Then what happens? There is a formation of corresponding RNO2 plus KBr at KBr. So in this way, you are getting such type of the compound. Then the synthesis of uh, the reaction, chemical reaction, we can also write with that of sodium alkoxide. Right? The next reaction is the reaction of alkyl halide with sodium alkoxide. It is also called as a Williamson synthesis reaction. It is also called as a Williamson synthesis reaction. It is one of the name reaction, Williamson synthesis. Williamson synthesis reaction. Williamson synthesis reaction. So here alkyl halide RX react with sodium alkoxide. Sodium alkoxide. Right? Then what happens? X from this, Na from this. There is a removal of NaX. There is a removal of NaX. And there is a formation of a ether. ROR. So there is a formation of ether plus NaX, sodium halide. In Williamson synthesis reaction, alkyl halide, when treated with sodium alkoxide, there is a formation of corresponding ether. So it is a etherification reaction. So depending upon the nature of R, either R and R dash, if they are same or different, we can get a simple ether if both are same, or you can get mixed ether, right? Simple ether or the mixed ether. So for example, suppose if you take example CS3, CS2 and Cl react with sodium ethoxide Na plus O minus and C2H5O. Both are, they are same. So you are getting diethyl ether as a product. Diethyl ether as a product. It is simple ether. But suppose if both are different, means here is the CS3 and here is the iodine, right? Alkyl halide. And you can take here the sodium alkoxide, in this case sodium phenoxide, right? Sodium phenoxide. Both are, they are different, and when they undergo reaction, then there is a formation of CS3, here is the O, and here is your benzene nucleus. So methoxybenzene means anisole. It is called as a methoxybenzene or anisole. So in this way also you can write the number of examples. So you can get simple ether also, and also you can get the mixed ether also. The question arises, how you can prepare this sodium alkoxide? Sodium alkoxide preparation is very simple. How you can prepare? So simply by reaction of two molecules of alcohol ROH, it reacts with the two molecules of sodium. Then this sodium and hydrogen react, and there is a formation of sodium alkoxide, and the you have the two alcohol, the two molecules of sodium alkoxide, and there are two hydrogen, means hydrogen gas get evolved. So in this way we can prepare such type of the compound. Okay, so this is the compound. Alcohol react with sodium alkoxide. Alcohol react with sodium, and there is the formation of sodium alkoxide. Sodium alkoxide. right? Sodium alkoxide. Okay, so in this way, you are getting corresponding alkoxide and you can get the corresponding product, right? Now, next one, formation of alkene takes place by the elimination reaction. Number five reaction, starting from alkyl halide, you can get corresponding alkene. So the formation of alkene. So here we are having R. Here is the X in general, and here is your H. So there is the presence of alpha carbon atom. Now I can also replace the methyl, this R by also CS3, or we can what you can do. Suppose if I replace here this R, and here is a CH2, right? Then here is a alpha carbon, here is a beta carbon, and here is a also beta carbon atom. When this compound react with alcoholic KOH, alcoholic KOH, then what happen? The bond between the C alpha and X undergo breaking. X negative, C positive, and this base may abstract either this beta hydrogen, and for understanding just we can say that this is your beta dash hydrogen. It can also abstract this beta dash hydrogen, right? So this sigma bond may also shift here, this may also shift here. So there is a formation of two compound. One is R, CH, double bond, CH and CH3. And other compound we can get here R, CH2, here is a CH, double bond, CH2. So you can get two alkene, two alkene, and also you can get also one alkene. Right? So, with the course of reaction, as there is a removal of hydrogen and halogen, it is called as a dehydrohalogenation reaction. Right? It is called as a dehydrohalogenation reaction. Dehydrohalogenation reaction. Right? So, it is called as a dehydrohalogenation reaction. Okay, so this is the dehydrohalogenation reaction, right? So here we have taken the alkyl halide and we have seen that there is a formation of corresponding product, right? So here, as there is a removal of hydrogen and halogen, so it is called as dehydrohalogenation reaction, right? Now, question arises: which is the major compound and which is the minor compound? So here in the basic first year, we have learned already this reaction. The formation of two alkene is a major compound. It is your major compound, and the formation of one alkene is your minor compound. So why is the major compound? The elimination is governed by the Sarjap elimination. It is governed by the Sarjap rule. What is the Sarjap rule? Sarjap rule tells us that the elimination takes place in a such a way that there is a formation of highly alkyl substituted alkene as a major product. So in this case, there is a formation of alkene in which two R group, they are directly attached to the doubly bonded carbon atom. So it is a dialkyl substituted alkene. And in this case, only one R group is directly attached to the doubly bonded carbon atom. So it is a monoalkyl. So when there are more number of the R group directly attached to the doubly bonded carbon atom, then it is a major product. So here the first is the major and second is the minor. So it is called as a elimination reaction. So by elimination, by 5 ways we have prepared the we have seen the chemical reaction given by this alkyl halide. So next part is the substitution reaction, and next part is the substitution reaction given by this alkyl halide that we will learn in the next lecture. And so end out. If I end out, you may ask. Okay, then we'll stop here. And thanks to all, and you can leave the meeting. Thank you, and you can join the next lecture. Thank you.